How do you feel about dark-skinned emojis?
I feel like if you're light-skinned, you shouldn't use them. I
gotta confess, I use dark-skinned emojis.
I know you do, and I feel like I've rebuked you like several times.
How do you drink your coffee?
Like real man, bro.
Real man?
Yes. I've been told I am a sugar shamer, and I agree with that situation.
I feel like you're a coffee connoisseur. Are you a coffee connoisseur wannabe?
I think until I make it, baby.
All right. So where'd you grow up?
I grew up in Houston, Texas. Born and raised. Great country of Texas. You know, yeah, Southwest side.
Family, parents, brothers, sisters?
Not from there. Yeah, my family's from Nigeria.
So tell me, your last name?
Ukegbu.
Ukegbu. Mm-hmm. Tell me about that.
It means greatness. Not really. That's what I tell people. My first name has a meaning though. My first name is Muche Chuku. It means no one knows God's mind, based out of Isaiah 55.
Okay.
My thoughts are not your thoughts, ways not your ways.
Wow.
Yeah, man.
Dang. All right, so how long we got to wait on this?
Well, we're doing the initial pour, and so it's soaking, so we probably got another 15 seconds, and then we're going to do a little continuous pour before we get down.
So how do you feel about America right now?
Where did that come from, bro? What are you trying to
We're going deep.
Clearly, I feel America's in a very delicate spot where it feels like, I don't know, values are fragile, unity is fragile. But in terms of a place, no other place I want to be. But I feel concerned, you know.
What makes you feel concerned, delicate, all that stuff?
I mean, I think it's common knowledge. Those who fail to understand, embrace, and even learn from their history always repeat it. So I just feel like there's just so much in the history of our nation, old history, new history, that it's like, well, what are we going to do with it? Are we just going to push past, plow through, muscle through this moment in history, or are we going to make the most of it?
Yeah.
New pour.
Yeah?
Yeah.
So what is this, like the second
Yeah, it's just
pour?
a continuous pour.
Continuous. All right.
Yeah,
What's happening in the second pour?
Well, now you're allowing the filtration, I believe. I'm just going to make that up so I know what I'm talking about, to go. But, yeah.
What do you, when people say, well, I'm not racist because when I grew up in school, there were black kids in my school, or I played ball with, it was black guys or Hispanic guys on my ball team. So I'm not racist. What do you hear when you hear that?
It depends on who's saying it and the nature of the conversation. Because sometimes, I mean, you know, the classic definition of racism, at least I go by, is when prejudice meets power.
Okay.
When you have these biases and feelings, negative ones, and then you marry that with power. Not everybody, to me, has some degree of power.
Sure.
You know what I mean?
Sure.
Regardless of how you want to talk about that. And so usually what I hear when somebody says I'm not racist is I'm not actively seeking out the, you know, lack of well-being or concern or somebody.
Right.
And it's like, well, that's not the only way that we use our power. Sometimes we use our power passively through neglect. Sometimes we demonstrate our power through perception. And so when somebody says, I'm not racist, I had,
right.
Depending on who they are, the nature of the conversation is to, you know, drill down deep, see what they mean. Could be ignorant, or it could be masking something else.
What do you think when someone has to defend that they aren't racist?
Yeah, man, like, if it walks like a duck, you know what I'm saying? Like, and I get that, like, anytime you feel like you're being challenged, you want to defend, but like, a posture to immediately say, I don't, I'm like, you know, I think we all have had and presently still have racial tendencies, so, yeah.
We about ready here, or how much longer we got?
You got about a minute.
Is there a
20
timer
seconds.
going on
There
this
is a
thing?
timer. I'm looking at it.
Goodness gracious.
And I didn't realize how impatient you are, but it's all good. God
Sorry,
still loves you.
sorry. Okay,
Just
okay.
grace.
I'll be patient.
Grace abounds, my guy. Grace
Patient, patient in the process. How do you feel about dark-skinned emojis?
I feel like if you're light-skinned, you shouldn't use them. I gotta
confess, I use dark-skinned emojis.
I know you do, and I feel like I've rebuked you like several times, and you have yet to change. When you texted me this morning, I was like, I feel like we had this conversation, and you still sent me this emoji. I was like, all right. Yeah, I think people should use their own emoji color.
All right, so for clarity, light-skinned people should use light-skinned emojis.
And they should eliminate that yellow situation because nobody's yellow.
All right, eliminate the yellow, the gold, the...
Whatever it is.
Yeah,
but if you use your right, it's emoji etiquette.
Emoji etiquette.
Absolutely.
All right.
It's a real thing. It's a real thing, brother.
All right, so you got 3 kids.
I do. It feels like 20.
I got 3 kids.
They're beautiful.
7, 5, and 3. Yours are 8, 7, and 5. Okay. What kind of conversations do you have to have with your kids that I don't have to have with my kids?
Yeah. How the first thing about their identity that people are going to notice is their ethnicity. And what are the practical implications of that? My daughter, my oldest, we have that conversation a lot more because of where we are in Miami.
Yeah.
And she has natural hair,
Yeah.
and everybody else around her has wavy hair. So why don't I have wavy hair? And so even just the implications of that have been fascinating, and how this is beautiful and good.
What do you say to the person that says, well, Muche, you're just perpetuating the problem if you're instilling in your children some kind of negative idea of ethnic relationship? What do you say to that?
Yeah. One, from a overtly Christian perspective, ethnicity is part of the Imago Dei. To
ignore it.
To ignore it would be to
Right.
strip something that's unique and beautiful about my kids.
Right.
So one, it's actually shown them, no, God designed you this way, and it's beautiful.
Yeah.
But then also really preparing them because it's the world that we live in. Even in a city like ours in Miami, that's a legitimate minority majority, where it's primarily brown skin. It doesn't matter. It's the world. It's the world that we live in. She walks down the street and people notice her differently.
Wow.
It's almost ready.
Is it almost ready?
Yeah.
Sweet.
I'm gonna throw this away eventually, but let me just get you a little pour.
Okay.
So you get a little sample.
There we go.
Let me hook you up though. Make sure it's the right ounces.
Are you going to put a specific amount of ounces in my cup?
I am, because I know we pastors can be greedy, and so I mean,
Are you being equitable right now with both of our
come
pours?
on, somebody. Equity, baby. Let me just I almost poured that out. Let me just.
All right, so let's go church. All right.
Okay.
How do you feel?
That was not equitable. I served you.
I appreciate
You're
that.
welcome.
Was that an abundance pour?
Let me tell you something.
How do you?
But God.
How do you feel about the church in America right now?
She has some work to do. I think that God, for such a time as this, you look at Acts, right? Paul going over the history of the people of God, and David served the Lord in his generation and fell asleep. There is something about unique opportunities within the generation. God's placed you to do work. So I think we got some work to do in our generation, because the gospel isn't center the way I think we think it is. And I think one of the ways that shows up is the absence of authentic unity. Not just people who are different in the same room, but people who are different in the same family and acting like it. So I think we have some work to do.
Yeah. How do you like your coffee?
I haven't tasted it yet because I was talking, but
Do you drink it? You just drink it straight up, black?
Again, is there any other way?
I agree. I
almost said something. Were you about to toast me?
No. I was going to say I put some half and half in there occasionally, so I know. Don't judge.
Really?
Are you judging me right now?
I am absolutely judging you.
All right.
Half and half.
All right. So
Why
can't
It's not bad.
now? So let's have. Why don't we just have white church down the street, black church down the street, Hispanic church over here, Korean church over here, whatever, and let's embrace our cultural differences and be our own churches, but then, you know, let's have a potluck in the summer, and then that's unity that's coming together. Why isn't that sufficient?
Yeah, and there's several reasons why that's not sufficient. One, I think it's actually a false embrace, because it's celebrated at a distance versus I'm actually involved and we're celebrating together. So that's one. Two, I think it's, and I want to use this, anti-gospel is strong, so I don't want to use that fully.
Yeah.
But the force of that is when you have people in the same area, like, to say it's better off for you to just do, and then say that's contextualization, to me is wrong. Like, that's actually not contextualization. That's easy. Contextualization is the hard work of us coming together in this area to say, what does this area need, i.e. a unified expression of life together. And so I can see how people will say, no, like, what you're trying to do is you're trying to allow people to, you know, be authentically who they are, but it's actually not authentically who they are. And then lastly, you lose something. I mean, like, if you stay in a homogenous enclave, you just lose something.
What does homogenous mean?
Same.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I think, honestly, you know, you asked me about the church. We're in a time where we need to be, I mean, I would say ferocious about fighting for equality and not allowing it to be hijacked by sameness, because we'll just default to sameness, both in terms of gender, in terms of everything, especially in terms of culture. Right. Same. And it's like, nah, like, equality means we're together and we're celebrating differences, but we're doing it together. Right.
Are you you hopeful for the church?
Yeah, absolutely, because I have you. But not just that. I mean, like, you know, I think when fear and frustration and anxiety and all of that starts to rise to the top, I think that's where hope has to just come to meet it. And I think God is ready to meet us in this moment. So yeah, I'm very hopeful. Frustrated, but hopeful.
Frustrated.
Yeah.
Can I go deep?
I thought we were deep, but okay.
When I say,
I'm now scared.
What immediately comes to your mind when I say 2016?
The day everything changed, right? The day everything will live in infamy. Where it was like, what
I tried to tell you.
Happened?
I tried to
you
tell
did.
You. I tried to tell you.
Nah, I think it was an interesting time, because it was like, the first thing that comes to my mind is like, what just happened? Like, the phrase, like, what just happened?
Sure, right.
Because it felt like the Twilight Zone. Like, yeah. I don't know how else to describe it without, like...
Yeah. In light of 2016, in light of what we're experiencing in America right now, in virtually every context across our country, what is this demand of the church right now? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, like, an authentic engagement from a posture of humility. Because, like, in this cultural moment, the church is just behind. Like we're behind.
I feel like the culture's leading the way, and we're trying to catch up.
Exactly, absolutely. Right. Like, and so there's a posture of humility to say, yeah, actually, we have dropped the ball. Yeah. But, you know, this has always been our space of unity, of ethnic diversity, of justice. That is the early church, Jew and Gentile. Paul, like, being abused by a political system, and they wanted to take him out the back. Actually, he's like, nah, dude, like, you can't beat me in private. Nah, walk me through the front. And so Jesus in a sham trial, it's like actually, these are our roots, is multi-ethnic unity in a way that invades culture, telling the truth of the God. Like, that's who we are. But we've abdicated that space for so long. And so I think a posture of humility and actually returning to our roots. You don't want me to. Boy, like...
Is this the best coffee you've ever had?
You know, Proverbs 27:2 says, let another man praise you, not of your own lips. And so,
I'm expecting you to praise me rather than my own lips. All right, last question. What is your pastor?
Wow, good days. Most days.
I'm a pastor.
You are.
What's the role of a pastor in politics?
Oh, yeah. Citizen. Dual citizenship, citizen of a greater kingdom of heaven that is invading earth in real time, Your kingdom come, your will be done on earth as it is in heaven, Matthew 6. But earthly citizen as well. And so to engage with integrity, allowing your heavenly citizenship to dictate how you engage, how you talk, how you think, how you vote, what you champion, what you speak out against. So I would say it's engagement with a kingdom mindset, but not like abstinence, which is what I think has happened.
Right.
I'm just not going to
step
engage.
back.
Yeah, and it's like, well, no, like.
Right, because that's not healthy engagement.
It's not.
It's abandonment, right?
That's good. Engagement instead of abandonment.
Yeah, you like that?
I like that. That was very pastoral. You see how you pastored me in this moment,
All
man?
right. Hey, thanks, brother. I appreciate it, man.
Thank you.
All right.